Okay guys, this is Jeff with Jeff and Ben's Outdoors channel. Talking a little bit about the excavator that I bought. UK16R. It's the same thing as industrial, ag industrial, but of course it's the China first. But anyway, working this thing, you get on just a little bit of an incline working with it, and you get a full bucket. It's got about a 16-inch bucket. You get a full bucket of hard clay or rock or something, and you're on a little bit of an incline, and you've got the boom extended out a little bit. Listen, it just that quick, it wants to lean forward. And when you grab your controls, you feel like it's going over, you want to grab your controls and lower the boom down real quick, and it'll just about jerk you in half, saving yourself. So this piece of machinery doesn't come with a counterweight. This back is just a thin, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch. I mean, it's not junk, but it's not a counterweight. So I've got the bigger engine, and this compartment down in here is just filled up. There's really no room unless you had like maybe an inch thick piece of steel that you can bend and mold in there to fit it. And even at that, you're taking up space to work on your engine and hydraulics and stuff. So what I plan on doing, and I know it might be a little junky looking, but it's going to be better than some of them that I've seen where they put a hitch on the bottom and put weights on it and stuff like that. I've got this great big old thick, it's 4.5 inches thick by 16 by 8 piece of steel. I used to run that on my tractor. I had got a chain on it, and I just hung it from the back of a 3-point hitch. I don't know how much it weighs, but you're not going to pick it up and load it onto this machine. Well, my plans are, and I'll just show you what I've done. I'm building me a frame to set that big old heavy piece of steel in. And here's what I'm going to do. See those 2 bolts? I've got my holes drilled for those 2 bolts. Same thing on this side. And I made this piece of steel to fit right in there in the bolt. One on each side, and I'm going to put a flat piece going across. The piece coming up to mount to this roll cage. And set that big old piece of steel in there. And fix it to where the weight's actually out a little further. You know, it's going to be sitting out here instead of up in here. I thought about cutting this bar out and just setting it up here and be done with it. But I want it to be out just a little bit. Every, say, inch or 2 that you're out this way, the heavier it feels on the machine. So I'm going to paint it like I did this metal here so it don't look so bad. It's just going to look like a little backpack or a battery or something hanging off the back of it. But it's going to change the mobility and the function of this machine drastically. I mean, it's going to make it really a lot more smoother to run. I've got to do some monkeying around with the hydraulics and put some soft controls and stuff like that, I know. But I really want the balance to be a lot better than what it is, because I run an excavator when I worked in heavy machinery, worked in a rock quarry. We've done a lot of surface mining, and I've run some big equipment. And this little thing, when it gets ready to tip, your controls and your hydraulics aren't fast enough to save yourself. I mean, they're just not. And when it's gone, it's gone. So I live on a hill. I mean, there's a lot of, on this 7 acres, there's a lot of places that I'd like to take this thing and do some work. But it's got its limitations, folks. You do not want to get on a steep grade with this thing and try to work it. You need your bucket down. That way it's stable. And it does need a counterweight on the back. That helps keep it stable. Like if I put that on here, I assume that that piece of steel with this frame is going to be at least over 120, 140 pounds, something like that. So already, say this bucket has 100 pounds on it. I've already helped myself that much by doing that. Later on, and I'm not sure, but underneath, there's a steel plate under here, and there's bolts running through. I may add a 3/4 inch piece of flat steel under there to stabilize it even more. But here's the problem. I call it a table that your excavator runs on. And that table's got gears and a motor. And I don't want to put, you know, too much weight on that table, because it'll wear quicker over a long period of time. So I need that balance. And I think this piece of steel, just putting this piece of steel on there, is going to help dramatically with everything, with the way it, you know, jerks and carries on, plus the mobility of it, plus the traction on the tracks. You got to keep that in mind too. Have you ever seen anybody on a 4-wheeler or a tractor or something, and it's spinning and they jump on the back, or a car stuck in the snow? You know, they lay across the trunk or stand on the bumper of a truck and you know, just push pressure down. Just a little bit of extra pressure changes the whole scenario. So this little machine's got its quirks, it's got its problems. I've been watching videos on, you know, things that can go wrong with it. But listen, folks, I've been renting Bobcats over the past years, and little mini excavators and things like that. And it's $500 to $1,000 a pop for a day's work. So at $4,500, I figured 8 to 9 days of good work, this machine will have paid for itself. You say, well, what can you do with it? Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't let the size of it fool you. When I was doing my research and watching on YouTubes and just different things, I seen these machines, and they really don't show you exactly what it can do. When it says it'll dig a 5-foot hole, you got to keep in mind that 5-foot hole is going to be straight down in front of this bucket. You're not going to be able to reach out here and dig 5 foot and then all the way up here, you know, just a 5-foot hole. You just go in little increments. But it will dig a 5-foot deep ditch. You just have to take your time, ease back, dig, ease back, dig, ease back, dig. Eventually, it's like chopping a tree down. You know, you can do it with a big giant chainsaw, or you can do it with an axe, but the end result's the same. It's just going to take you a little longer. And let me tell you something. The hydraulics on this machine is way stronger than the size of the machine. You got to be real careful. It's just mind-blowing what these things will do. You know, it's got the right size bucket that come on it. I got to piddling with that stump the other day and got down into some hard clay, and I thought, well, it won't dig now. Yeah, it will. It will absolutely dig. It digs so strong that on a root I broke tooth off. Just totally destroyed a tooth. It caught on a rock or a root or something, and I heard it pop. And of course, they're probably the cheapest graded that you could get. And here it is. Snapped it right off. So I'm going to have to order a tooth. I apologize for the lighting. It's an overcast day, and you can hear those frogs down at the pond going crazy. But anyway, there's so much to talk about on this machine that I have learned already, and I'd like to share it with you, but I don't want to make the video too long. Another thing I'd like to show is these little, this thumb. It's a cheap thumb, it's cheaply made, but here's the problem with something like that. If you don't know how to run an excavator or a piece of equipment, you don't get the scenario in your mind of what's happening, the dynamics, the math, whatever you want to call it. When you pick up something, you got to keep in mind that this bucket has hydraulics on it. This thumb has hydraulics on it. So when you push this thumb down and grab something, you're also going to be pushing this bucket to grab it. And you've got two cylinders pushing. You push that bucket up too far, you know what's going to happen. This is going to bend. This is going to give before that bucket does. See the difference in sizes of the cylinders? So when you pick up a rock, or maybe you're picking up a log or something, and you let this down, and it tightens up just a little bit, when you put pressure on this to get it even tighter, you're going to bend this. You can overdo it in a heartbeat. And this got adjustments on it also. So, a lot of information to throw out there. There's going to be a lot of people question, what about the tracks? What about the motor? What about the hydraulics? How do you do this and how do you do that? I've been through that for 2 years now, studying on getting one of these. And I realized something. People go out and they pay $6,500 for a little four-wheeler, and that's a toy that they enjoy having. There's nothing wrong with that. People will go out and they'll buy a bass boat, pay $15,000, $20,000 for it. People will go out and buy them old hot rod or whatever they enjoy. Well, this was $4,500, and I've already had that much enjoyment out of this machine in just a short time that I've had it. That it's just, you know, for that kind of money and the enjoyment and the work that you can do with it, I just say, if you're thinking about it, make sure you're mechanically inclined, you know a little bit about fixing things. Make sure that you spend the time, I mean really spend the time learning how to operate it, what its limitations are, where it's going to tilt, where it's not going to tilt, how steep. That's another issue that we talk about in the future. These things will run away with you. These hydraulics will, you know, you get on a steep hill, get going over, you need to make sure your blade's down, your boom on your bucket's down, close to the ground, because once it runs away, you've got no control over nothing. So you need to keep that in mind. Now they do have some that has overrides on them. This one doesn't have the override lines on it. It's only got two Some of them's got 3 where the fluid goes bypasses and goes back. That's a big help. So anything that these machines lack in, you can upgrade it, make it better. So this is Jeff with Jeff and Ben's Outdoors channel. I know I'm rattling on, but just wanted to share that with you. Get this thing on here. I'll make another video and show it to you and see what you think about it. Is it going to be gawky? See, I thought about putting it down in behind here, behind the seat, but where I'm so tall and big, the seat, I've got it pushed forward right now. I have to have that seat all the way back, so it wouldn't fit in here. And plus that wouldn't, you know, the further out I come, the more weight and distribution I'll have. So I think it'll be all right. I think it'll look good. I'll paint that big old block gray and mount it on here. I'll still be able to get back in here because it'll be up high. It'll stick out, but I'll get down like this and I'll be able to get down, do what I need to do. And I'm going to make it, the Lord's willing, to where I can take that big old steel block out. I'll have to use a come along and a tree to set it with a chain. It's so heavy. I'm not going to pick up 120, 130 pounds of solid steel. My back and my guts can't handle that anymore. But I'm sure that it's going to make a big difference in the functionality and the balance of this machine. So we're about 17 minutes into the video. I hope that I didn't ramble on and say too much. But anyway, this is Jeff with Jeff and Ben's Outdoors channel. We love you. God bless you, and hope and trust that you know the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal Savior. And stay tuned for the next video.